Hello and welcome to the United Stand. More shocking than me wearing my glasses because my eyes are tired. David De Gea is apparently going to sign a big £350,000 a week 5-year contract at Manchester United. Back of the net, or whatever that means in Spanish, because that is inspiring, revelationary, fantastic news. And it's reported in The Sun, which gets a lot of stick, especially from Liverpool fans, quite rightly. But The Sun has been quite good in relation to Manchester United news over the last 12 months, especially in relation to Rooney leaving. They got that 4 days earlier than everyone else. Carrick being captain and also Lukaku. So De Gea, 5-year contract, is going to sign it. It's £350,000 a week. Not official. This has been reported by media outlets, of course, and that outlet was started by The Sun. So let's see how it goes. But positivity, and when you put it all together, actually it makes a lot of sense, because Real Madrid have really cooled off. That international break that we've just come out of, really I expected, like every other year, for that to really kick off, about because he's in Spain, he was playing well for Spain, always coming back to Spain, never materialised. Nothing's really materialising around De Gea, and I think that's because he isn't going to be going back to Real Madrid. And if he signs this 5-year contract at Manchester United, fantastic. And for the doubters out there, Alexis Sanchez came to Manchester United because we are reportedly paying him £200,000 a week more than the highest paid player in the Premier League, which is Pogba on £300,000 a week, reportedly. Sanchez is on £500,000 a week, and people wonder why he came to Manchester United. De Gea can go to Real Madrid, but can they pay him £350,000 a week? Right now, the Premier League and Manchester United, Man City to a certain point, can pay bigger wages than anybody. That's why Umtiti has said today that he's thinking about coming to Manchester United, because the contract, the wages are absolutely huge. So if we can keep De Gea, fantastic, because whoever you get, it will be a step down. Remember, tonight is a Skype show. Skype Goldbridge, all one word. Not open the lines yet, but we will be taking your calls. You might want to talk about De Gea. You may also want to talk about the US tour. The US tour. We're going on tour to America again. I feel sorry for Asia, China, India, Australasia, Africa, which is where we've been in the past. But selfishly, I prefer the US tour. 19th of July is the first game. Phoenix against Club America. 22nd of July is Santa Clara against San Jose Earthquakes. That's what's been announced so far. There will be other games. Liverpool is rumoured to be at Michigan, but for now they've announced the 19th and the 22nd of July. First two games, like last year, starting off against MLS sides, really, and working our way into it. But really, really excited about that. We'll definitely be doing the watch-alongs in the early hours again. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we might actually be out there doing fan cams, which would be great. So I'm very, very pleased about that. Take the L Madrid, said somebody there. Well done. Yes, take the L Madrid. You're not getting De Gea by the looks of it. Titi and Baby, great defensive partnership, says Rom MUFC 20. And we should have gone to Asia, says Chrysia Prince. Well, you know what? Playing the devil's advocate, there will be a lot of the Asian fan base not happy, because it normally alternates. But maybe it's another reason to be Mourinho out if you are, because Mourinho hated the Asian tour 2 years ago. Absolutely hated it. Remember, it got rained off and was a bit of a waste of time. You go to America, there's a lot of games, a lot of big teams over there. So yeah, we might get to play LA Galaxy as well. Thanks, Josh, for the nice glasses thing. And go away, William, Ready, you're not what we missing. The show is on, Stephen King. Tell him to refresh. Anyway, I want to take your calls, but there's so many things I want to talk about first, because you might want to bring them in. Fabinho apparently isn't going to PSG now. Both Manchester clubs are interested in him. Let's see where he ends up with that. Pep Guardiola is apparently going to rest all his stars for the game, the derby on Saturday. Where do you sit on that? Big games for them Wednesday, next Tuesday. 2 legs against Liverpool in the Champions League. They're going to win the league anyway. But where does that leave United if he rests players? I mean, some people might think that's good because we might get a result. Some people might think that's really worrying, because if we don't get if we do lose it, how embarrassing would that be? £100 million gap, too much. I saw this today. Sort of agree with it. Pep spent £100 million more than Mourinho, but £100 million is, £100 million is not what that gap is. How many points behind them are we? 16, and they're playing great football. That's not £100 million. You're telling me Mourinho with another £100 million would close that sort of a gap? It's a chasm, massive. Anthony Martial fury continues. Loads and loads about it today. I personally want to start a campaign for Anthony Martial to be Manchester United's next number 10. Thinking about starting a bloody petition or something. Let us know your thoughts about that. But Martial to stay for certain, and a lot of people are starting to get very angry about this Bale for Martial nonsense, this short-termism, the signing these players at 29, calling it lazy from Mourinho, calling it turning his back on what Manchester United's all about, short-termism. Maybe you want to talk about that. Also, and Herrera has said that he would like to stay at Manchester United, which I think is a positive as well. And obviously, I also mentioned Titi. So, lots and lots to talk about. Lots to talk about. And anything else that you want to talk about as well. But the US tour is a positive, I think. I think it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I also am very, very happy about David De Gea signing for Manchester United a 5-year contract. And hopefully that will be announced very, very soon. They want it done before the World Cup. Smell my cheese. Smell my cheese, you mother. He says that, where's this De Gea story coming from? It's coming from the Sun. It's coming from the Sun. So you can take it with a bag of salt if you want. But they have been accurate about Manchester United in the past. So I'm not going to be too negative about it. Skype Goldbridge, all one word, is the call to call in. I better put my earphone in because I won't be able to bloody hear you. Titi won't leave, Barcelona says. Noah, why would anyone pay £80 million for a player who probably will only play half a season, says Sophie. I think she's talking about Gareth Bale there. And hooray, I love Herrera, says Kevin O'Callaghan. Well, why? You know what? Why can't Ander Herrera stay at Manchester United? Why not? Why is that such a problem? I really don't know. I think he's a fantastic player, and I want him to get back to his best. I really do. Steve Gerrard's laughing about the Sun. Look, the Sun have been accurate. They were right about Rooney leaving. They were right about the signing Lukaku, and they were right about Michael Carrick being club captain. I'm trying to take calls here, but people seem to be hanging up. Anfield Raw says don't buy the Sun. Look, respect totally why you don't want us to buy the Sun. Of course, their reaction to Hillsborough was terrible. Jake Elliott, do I believe the Sun? Have I said I believe it? I'm encouraged by the news that's coming out, and a lot of people are jumping all over it. But you know, I have to hope that he's going to sign it. Let's take a call. Hopefully we've got somebody now. Adrian, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, I can hear you, Mark. How are you, mate?
Hi, Adrian. Is this the same Adrian who does the fan cams?
Yes, that is me, mate.
It is. I thought I recognised the picture, and I definitely recognise the voice now. Great to have you on the show. Really enjoy the fan cams you've done with Flex. What do you want to talk to us about, Adrian?
Well, about is Anthony Martial situation, mate.
Yeah.
It's been driving me absolutely mental for the last few days. And I'm just thinking to myself, you go back to when we signed Martial, he was, 19 when Van Gaal signed him, I think?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, Van Gaal obviously saw something in him. He wanted Martial because he's looking at a great young player, potential to be world-class in years to come. And you think, with a player like that, everyone laughed at the price tag. But you think, if he was to be at Man United for the next 10 years or so, imagine what he could have achieved. Van Gaal was thinking long-term. That's why he brought him in. But now, when you look at the situation, sometimes he struggled, but on other occasions, he's shown us what he can do. And even though he's won player awards, like great goals, Mourinho, for some reason, just leaves him out of the team. Now, when we brought Sanchez in, I honestly thought that was the right-hand side covered. You're going to keep an informed Martial on the left, and we're going to really push forward. But then he drops an informed Martial, which makes absolutely no sense to me. And now when you look at Martial just sitting on the bench, I'm thinking to myself, all these rumours about him leaving, it's frightening and frustrating because we've seen many occasions where we let a top player go and it comes back to bite us. Need I mention with Mourinho's record with the likes of Salah and De Bruyne, could this be another situation if he lets Martial go? He's going to come back on him again. That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's something I want to ask you about that, but you've just reminded me of something that dropped in my head. I said it last night that, you know, what more can Martial do, really? I totally agree that he's been poor since Sanchez signed, but I think that's because Sanchez was signed. Three times Player of the Month. Started on the bench this season because Mourinho again put him on the bench and went with Rashford. Came on, scored goals, got into the first team, 3 player of the months up until January. How is he rewarded? We go and buy a player we all are excited about because we think he's going to be a number 10 or a right midfielder. He buys a replacement for his best player, as far as I'm concerned, in Martial. He buys a replacement and pays them 500 grand a week. I mean, if you're Martial, you must be gutted. You must be thinking, I had a bad season under you last year, Mourinho. I've worked hard over the summer. I've worked my way into the first team. I've been player of the month 3 times. I've scored quite a few goals for where I've been. And then you've been and bought a player for £500,000. And it's not the first time. It came into my head today. The first thing Mourinho did... Now, I'm not one for brands and everything like that, but Anthony Martial had a brand, AM9. He had a clothing range. The first thing Mourinho did was take the number 9 shirt off him without ever giving him a chance and handed it to Zlatan. Now, some people would agree with that or not, but I think when you look at it in the whole big picture, I think Martial could, solve world peace, and Mourinho would still rip up his plans and say, go away. I love Mourinho, but I totally do not think he has got any time for Martial, and it worries me like it worries you, Adrian, I think.
It does. I think when Mourinho makes it clear he doesn't like a player, then there's basically no hope, and there's probably no way for that player to come back. We've seen him do it with Luke Shaw, but with Martial, for me, this guy, like Rashford, young player, we need them to be at the club for a long, long time. We've seen it so many years with Sir Alex. He'll bring through top quality youth, and they'll spend at least 10 or more years at the club. For example, look at Wayne Rooney when Sir Alex signed him. He spent over 10 years with United. Michael Carrick, another top midfielder after Roy Keane left. Carrick is still here over 10 years later. That is what I think Van Gaal wanted to do, and that's what he was doing. But with Mourinho, he seems to be the complete opposite. He only wants players in their late 20s, early 30s that can only probably give you 3 or 4 years. And if he's stupid enough to bring in Gareth Bale, and I said it earlier today, Gareth Bale is made out of fiberglass, because one touch and he will just fall apart and you won't see him for weeks because he'll be in the medical room. I don't agree with Mourinho's way of thinking with this situation, and I don't know what's going to happen, mate. It doesn't look good from what we're seeing so far.
Just on that, I mean, Alexis is a 2-year stopgap, says that guy, and Martial will be here for the long haul. I mean, my problem with that is that Martial's 22, he needs to be playing now. But what is your thought about Mourinho? Because if Martial goes and Bale comes in, you're getting a 29-year-old and you're letting go of a 22-year-old who can be world class. It's against what we know Manchester United to be. Do you think Mourinho cares about that? I mean, you're annoyed about it. A lot of people are annoyed about it. What do you think, Mourinho? You go to the games, you've got your own opinion. There are people who are a bit frustrated with Mourinho. Do you think he can survive doing something like that?
If Mourinho keeps Anthony Martial and plays him, then I think the fans will be a lot calmer and will, take to him more. But if he lets him go and he brings Gareth Bale in, I think he's going to lose even more support than what he's currently lost now. I mean, 5 years ago, I would have said, fine, go for Gareth Bale. He was absolutely, one of the best players. That's why Real Madrid signed him. But I think if Martial goes, that'll be the final straw in a lot of ways, Mark. Honestly, I do. Fantastic
call to open up. Really great to have you on, Adrian. I really enjoy fan cams, as Paul was saying there. So please do call in, mate. And again, mate, and hopefully we'll see you on a fan cam soon as well.
Yeah, definitely, Mark. Thanks for having me on. I've been meaning to come on for a while, and I'm just glad I was able to come on tonight. So, Flex does a great job with the fan cams every week, and I try to get on there as much as possible. So, next game I'll be at is West Brom, so hopefully I'll be on that one as well.
Nice one, mate. Great to speak to you, and thanks again.
Cheers, Mark. Thank you, mate.
Good to start off with the Martial thing, because you know what, it is annoying a lot of people at the moment, and whatever you want to talk about is fine by me, but good to get that topic in there straight away. It's bank holiday in the UK at the moment, but a lot of people are very frustrated by that. Webster, can you hear me?
Yeah, Mark, how are you, my good man?
I'm good, thanks. Not had you on for a few weeks, but what was it you wanted to talk about?
Okay, some few things. Martial's issue. Let me be a bit controversial. Let me not go with the hype right now. I think Martial is staying. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. You think Martial's staying? Yeah.
Okay, I think Martial is staying. I just don't see how Jose can justify losing a player like him. It just doesn't make sense. He says he's building the team, and you then say one of your brightest young stars. I just don't see it. It's just a Jose thing. He's going to think he's waking Marcel up. He's doing the same thing right now to Pogba. He's doing the same thing to Luke Shaw. Even though with Luke, okay, there might be something in Luke, but for Pogba and Marcel, I don't think they're leaving, to be honest with you.
It is interesting because he did say at the weekend there would be no replacement for Zlatan, which means Sanchez, Lukaku, Rashford and Martial. So, it would make sense if he does stay, but I think people are just worried about the future of the relationship between Martial and Mourinho, because I don't think Martial could have done anything more this season, and he still goes out and buys a replacement in January.
True that. My whole issue I have with Jose right now, his player management lacks a lot to be desired. The way he manages players individually, they're cursing them out after a game. A player makes a mistake and then you berate him to the fans. I think that destroys a lot of players' confidence. I mean, think of Martial himself. Yes, I do believe he did drop a bit of form, but it's not him alone. I think all our creative players kind of just lost form at the same time. It just doesn't make sense to me. You see, sometimes Jose does not have to blame the players. He has to blame himself. Maybe the system is not working for these players. And it's all good to say it's Pogba's fault, it's Martial's fault, but maybe it's the system that they're not agreeing to, and then that's on Jose, it's not on the players. And hence why I feel sometimes aggrieved to always blame players, always come out, blame players. Sometimes we as fans don't know, maybe they've got an instruction from the coach to play a certain way. And we berate them. Hey, look what he's doing. He's passing sideways. I mean, the other day he praised McTominay for passing the balls sideways and slowing it down. He says, wow, the kid has a world, he said, a big mentality because, he calmed everything down. And I was thinking, no, man, he was slowing everything down. But again, the kid played to his instructions, hence why he praised him. And that's why sometimes as fans, we should not be so quick to judge the players as per se after every game, because they have certain instructions they play under, and we are not privy to that information. We can see when a player is having a bad game, but we can also see when Pogba is not tracking back how Mourinho acts, or when Luke Shaw does anything wrong besides his instruction. You immediately see how he reacts. Then you can see those did not follow his instructions. But Lukaku, he follows his instructions, he always praises him. Lingard follows his instructions, he always praises him. But whoever just diverts from his system, then it's a brick of... I don't know.
Brick, isn't it? It is a brick. Just on that one, I want to ask you a little bit about the game of the weekend, but you're right, and I always use Lukaku in that example where it is sometimes the system and not the players, because people were criticising Lukaku, and a lot of people on the live comments were saying, you can't criticise Lukaku when he's not getting the chances because we're not creating them. A striker needs chances. And yet Lukaku was getting criticism, and clearly that was the system. But, game at the weekend, Manchester City, fans are concerned about how we will approach that game based on the fact that Man City are a very good team. Pep has said that he might rest some players. Well, I believe that when I see it. But do you think Mourinho, how do you think Mourinho is going to approach that game? Because we were talking last night, if United park the bus and lose, he's going to get a lot of stick from United fans after the game. I feel he almost has to have a go, because even though we'll probably lose, there'll be more credibility in that sort of loss.
True that. I heard Flex yesterday. I actually enjoyed your show very much yesterday. I heard Flex saying I was under his thought. I also thought, let's just park the bus, guys. Let them not win the league on us. Park 4 buses if you have to. I don't care as long as they don't win. But I've kind of changed my mind. I mean, we have nothing to lose. Whether, I would rather they win the league, but we tried to beat them, rather than us parking the bus, then they beat us 1-0. That will hurt even more than You know, that we just hate. I would rather lose and us attacking. The way we played the last game, first half, was very, very positive. I even forgot United can play like that. I was like, where did this team come from? You know, we just attacked and pressed and attacked and pressed. I was so surprised. But even then, in defense of Jose, according to his post-match interview, he says he doesn't know why the team just went back in their shell second half, meaning it wasn't his instructions for the team to stop playing. So maybe the system has gotten so much in this guy's head that whenever maybe they are tiring or something happens, they just go back to their old shells. And I don't know. We need to attack on Saturday. I believe we can beat City. If there's anyone who knows how to manage teams, who could have thought we could have beat Liverpool or Chelsea a few weeks ago? No one. And we did. And that's why I keep on saying, Jose, sometimes when he's pushed against the wall is when he usually comes up with something. And I'm just praying he can have one more trick up his sleeve for us on Saturday. I just don't want Mark for them to win the league on us. It's just going to be so painful.
I agree. Fantastic call again, Webster, and please do call in again.
Thanks, Mark. Keep up the good work, my bro.
Thank you. Really good start to the show, really good calls. Skype Goldbridge, all one word, call in, have your say. Don't forget to drop a like on the video for people who are calling in. Really, really important that people like the videos when it's the Skype show, because it's the United Stand community calling in. And remember to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Bottom right hand corner, get your notifications on. I've changed a bit like Walter as well, Webster as well, sorry. I sort of felt let's park the bus and stop Man City winning the title. I've matured beyond that now. I mean, come on, City deserve to win the title. They're going to win the title. I think it's more important. We're already looking at next season now. I think it's more important that we actually go there and try and play the way that the fans want us to play from now on. And I think we're going to lose if we park the bus. So let's lose having a go. But I think if we have a go, we've probably got a better chance of getting a result out of it anyway. That's my thoughts on it. Jonathan, can you hear me?
Oh, hi, Mark. You all right?
I'm good, thanks. You?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, pal.
Good.
Yeah, just I didn't see the start of the video tonight. I got in late. Has De Gea signed a new deal? And is that confirmed, or where's it come from?
I'm glad that you said that. There's a few people who've joined a bit late as well and asked for that clarity. So you've just reminded me. So De Gea, this came out about an hour ago that he's going to sign a new 5-year contract, £350,000 a week. It's not official. It's not from the club. And it has come from the Sun. No. So a lot of people are like, well, it's from the Sun. But I remember last summer specifically 3 stories that the Sun got right about United, i.e. Lukaku, Rooney, and one about Carrick. So, we're hopeful. It says it's not, it's something United want to get done before the World Cup. But it is something that has been mentioned. I've noticed it 3 or 4 times in the last 5 months about De Gea and a new contract. So, there doesn't seem to be a lot around Real Madrid going for him, as I said in the international break. So, I think if we can get De Gea, that's massive, because any goalkeeper that we sign as a replacement is a massive step down from a world-class keeper.
Well, it's right. I mean, he's the best goalkeeper in the world, and he'd be almost irreplaceable. And I do think, if he did leave now, you couldn't blame him. I think next season is so important. And Mourinho next year has got to get it right. He's got to start playing more attacking football, get the crowd behind him, and get some good times again.
I think you're right. I think that's part of the surprise. I mean, if De Gea stays, I'm so happy, because I do agree with you. I think if he'd gone this summer, I 2 years ago, however many it was, I felt he was a bit of a snake with the fax machine. But if he went now, I can't argue with the fact that he's been the world's best goalkeeper for a number of years, and he's in a team that can't get near winning a title over the last 5 years, and he deserves better. So if he stays, we've got to do something better next year. City game at the weekend. What's your thoughts on that? I mean, there's still a few days away, but do you give us any hope? How do you think we should approach it?
Well, I was actually out with a few of my City friends last night, and they're all giving it the big enough course. I did remind them that they can't actually do the Guard of Honour because they have to win this game, and then the following week we'll get the Guard of Honour. I mean, it's just a horrible situation. I think Tuesday will be interesting. City-Liverpool. I think they're going back to United and how they set up. I think they've got to go for it. I think the fans want to see if we can go at City. Too many teams this season have just laid down for them and not give them a goal back. And I think United should do that and set a precedent for next season.
It is. It is all about next season, as far as I'm concerned. I just want to ask you something, actually, because there's a few points, actually. And Herrera has expressed an interest in staying at Manchester United. Now, not had his best season, Player of the Year last year. You might have a theory on why that is. But thoughts on Herrera? Do you think we should be moving him on? Would you be happy for him to stay?
I like Herrera. He's got a lot of energy. He's one of the midfielders we've got that has got a lot of energy. I think, obviously, Fellaini's hopefully going to go. Carrick's retiring. The midfield does need looking at. I'd keep Herrera, Matic, Pogba. Add one more real quality midfielder of world-class ability. And then Twansibi, Fosu Mensah, these boys should be coming into this team and getting game time now. And I think if he does that, again, the United crowd with young players will get right behind the team. That's what they want to see. Want to see Rashford playing more, rotate him a bit more with Lukaku, and let's go for it.
Exactly, and just because everyone else is giving their opinion about it at the moment, and I've been surprised myself. I mean, I'm a big fan of Martial, but there is a lot out there on social media and in newspaper forums as well. Very frustrated, some fans. Some people think, back the manager. What's your thoughts on Martial and the situation? Do you think
Martial, he's obviously extremely talented. He does excite the fans. He does seem to go and have a sulk occasionally, whether that's Mourinho, whether that's the character himself. But I certainly wouldn't be looking at bringing in a 29-year-old injury-prone Gareth Bale and moving a real hot prospect like Martial on it. I don't think many teams would do that. I don't think many managers would do that. And I think United, if Martial left, we'll be looking at the Pogba strike too, in terms of him going on and being world-class.
Yeah, I think we could have another De Bruyne on the hands. And just finally, I read something today about Pep spent £100 million more than Mourinho, and the article I read was like, well, yeah, £100 million is a lot, but it's not 16 points and great football. The gap's not, it's not like if Mourinho had another 100 million, they'd be 16 points closer to City. Do you think ultimately we've been a bit schooled this season by City and a bit embarrassed, or do you think?
I think that I think everybody in the league has been schooled by City this year. But again, I go back, too many teams have laid down for them. It's a very poor Premier League this year. Arsenal are the 6th best team in the country, or the 7th best of the rest. The team this year, the Premier League this year has been poor, and City have just had their way too often. Not enough teams have, give it them back and gone for the throat, and just slide down for them, and that won't happen next year. I don't believe that the Premier League next year will be as poor. I think a lot of teams will react to this, and there'll be a lot of summer business.
Good, great call, Jonathan. Really enjoyed it, and please do call in again. Yeah,
great, Mark. I've been with you since 100 subs. You do a fantastic job, you and all the team. So well done, and carry on, mate.
Great, that's brilliant. God, 100 subs, long time ago, but happy days as well.
Alex, Zara, Joey, all of them, they've all been great over the years, and you do a fantastic job. Keep it up, pal.
Cheers, mate. Thanks very much. And that's a good point, actually. The United stand has been going for a while, and mentioned some of the names there: Zara, Anna, Alex, Martin, Joey, Kev, Rich. I'm going to forget names. Drawsy. There's been so many people, and even there's just been so many people, but more than anybody, it's you lot who makes the show what it is. Talking of which, Paul Robinson just said, "What if Fellaini starts on Saturday?" I mean, don't throw it in there, Paul, like it's left field. I mean, we all know it could happen. We all know we could see a midfield with Fellaini in it on Saturday. If that happens, then I would start to be thinking, what the hell is he doing? I don't look before this international break. I think Fellaini playing, I would have expected it. I think after it, he's got to be turning a new leaf, Mourinho, now. He's got doubters. He's got people like myself and others who back him. For us to keep backing him, he's got to keep turning this new leaf of the first half. He's got to keep giving the positive vibes of him trying to play the good football. If he picks Fellaini on Saturday, he loses all that positivity, doesn't he? So I would hope he wouldn't do something like that, but we'll see. And very interestingly, I know some of you've signed up for the Patreon page. I don't think the link's even in the video description, so I'm not promoting it. But I did put a video up today on it. And I was talking very quickly about the difference between Pep and Jose and this Martial and Bale thing, and how Mourinho might sell sell Martial, 22, future star, for Bale, 29, injury prone, coming to the end of his career. but I was defending Mourinho, saying, look, he doesn't promote youth. I mean, this McTominay thing, whether it turns out to be anything or not, it's a real flash in the pan. Mourinho does not consistently promote youth. You could say the same about Pep. He doesn't really promote youth that much in his career when you look at Pep. But what Pep does do, Martial would be right up his street. Rashford would be right up his street. Because what Pep does, he will sign players that are on the way up, that have proved themselves enough that he can grab hold of them and make them world class. Leroy Sané, where did he get him from? He wasn't already established world class, he was on the way up. Jesus, on the way up. That's what he will do. Thiago Alcantara, wasn't it, who he got from... Did he get him at... Actually, I don't know whether he did. Was he at Bayern when he signed him? So he will go for those sort of players that are on the way up anyway, and he's done it at Man City. Whereas Mourinho is, you know, in the nicest possible way, I suppose the most bluntest way would be to say Mourinho's lazy. He doesn't want to develop players. He wants players that he can get in there. But you don't know what Manchester United have said to him. And in some ways, we are a bit hypocritical, because I wanted Mourinho because I knew he'd win us a title. After 5 years of not winning a title, we start to get close to being a Liverpool and Arsenal, and it becomes 10, 20 years. So I wanted Mourinho because he would win us a title. Mourinho wins titles by not developing, by bringing players in who are ready now, by getting Bale in and offloading Martial. That's what he does. So you've got to be, you know, I don't necessarily agree with it, but would we agree with it if we were actually winning titles? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Let's take another call. Ben, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi Mark, you okay?
I'm good, thanks. You?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad.
Good.
Not too bad.
What do you want to talk about, mate?
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about Martial. I mean, I get irated when I see, obviously I follow you on Twitter, I follow the United Stand, I follow Flex, Sophie, and I just get so irritated, Mark, when I see people time and time again slant Martial. He was our player of the month 3 times a season. He's been our second best player, I believe, after De Gea. I don't understand where this lazy thing comes from. Are people watching the same game we're watching? Martial, there's no way you can tell me you want to swap Martial for Bell. Bell is 29. Martial is 22. Why would you want to swap a 20-year-old French winger for injury-prone? Well, Mark, it makes no sense. I get frustrated seeing the Sun, all these stupid comments saying Martial wants to leave. Why would we want to sell Martial? Tell me, Mark, why should we sell Martial for Bell? They both play in the same position. When Sanchez came, I thought Sanchez would play attacking mid, Martial on the left, Lukaku up top, Lingard and Rashford and Mata fight out for the right. Why has Sanchez gone to the left, Mark? Why is Martial not our left winger? Martial can carry this club for the next 5-10 years. Sanchez is 29. We should not be forcing Martial out of this club. I don't understand, Mark. I don't understand.
I can't, and the thing is, I can't give you the answer either, because I feel exactly the same about, you know, I don't want to believe it. I want to believe it's paper talk. I want to believe there's a plan for Martial with Mourinho. But you hit the nail on the head there. The one thing that I've never, and it's totally destroyed the Sanchez signing, if I'm honest. I was so excited about it.
It has.
I really felt that we'd made Arsenal fans sit down and City fans. It was a double whammy. And I thought, what a signing he's going to be. He's going to play at number 10 or on the right. And we went and replaced a player who'd won Player of the Month 3 times and was having a really good season. He's been rubbish since then. I put my thumbs up.
Exactly.
He's been rubbish since then. But the catalyst for that, it was only a week before he scored the 1 goal in a 1-0 win against Burnley. You know, he won us the game against Burnley away from home. And everyone,
won us the game at Tottenham at home. I mean, I'm confused. I mean,
but people will tell you he's had a bad season and he's a flop and he's lazy, and it's not
Mark,
right.
What are they watching? What are they watching? Martial's won us games on numerous occasions. Yeah, okay, I can get the point whether or not he soaks a bit, but Martial will be a Ballon d'Or top 3 contender the next 5 to 10 years. I guarantee you that if he leaves Man United, he will go on to be a Ballon d'Or top 3 win the next 5 to 10 years. Martial is world class.
And also, let me just add in there
not
as well.
In a million years.
What people don't remember, what people forget about Martial as well is that even when he was playing well, one of the things that frustrated me is even when he was playing well, like Mata, he was always being subbed off after 70 minutes for Rashford or Lingard. So Mourinho never gave him the 90 minutes either. I agree with you. I think if he goes to another club, and I hope he doesn't, if he goes to Juventus or wherever else and they play him on the left wing and they play him 90 minutes like you do with your best player, I mean, you're getting another 25% game time out of him every game, because Mourinho, even if he played well, would sub him off after 70 minutes.
Exactly, like I said, I'm Marshall FC and I'm Mourinho in. But if Marshall leaves this summer, Mark, I mean, I'm like you, I'm Marshall FC, I'm Mourinho in. But if Marshall leaves this summer, I'm going to question Mourinho. He done it to Salah, he done it to De Bruyne, he done it to Lukaku. I'm really going to question Mourinho and his philosophy here if you saw Marshall. I don't care. I don't know what people are watching. You've got to build a team around people like Martial, Rashford. I saw what Jesse said about the class 92. Forget Jesse. You've got to build a team around people like Martial. People are going to carry this team. There's not in a million years he should be sold, Mark. Not in a million years he should be sold. He should be keeping him. He's one of our best players in the team. He is world class. We can be world class. Right now we have Pog. I mean, we already have the gear. He's world class. He can be world class, Mark.
Pankaj agrees with you. He says Martial is definitely world class in the making. I mean, just a very quick question. Do you? I mean, this is why it's coming up on the call-in. It wasn't the main topic. It was De Gea and the US tour, which we've not touched on much because fans are. But no, it's fine. It's your call-in, and people are very passionate about it. And I've seen it a lot today. Do you actually think that Mourinho would dare do it? Would dare sell? I mean, because he's not. He's only sold Memphis, everyone agreed with that. Schneidlin, people agreed with that. Rooney, people agreed with that. Even Mkhitaryan, most people agreed with it, even though he only signed him a year before. But Martial, the vast majority don't agree with it. Would he really dare do that when he's already got some people against him anyway? I mean, you said you're Mourinho in. I am. I would be gutted if he did this with Martial, but it's such a big, bold, against the fan opinion to sell a player like that when you've not got everybody behind you anyway.
I mean, of course, I remember in January you were asking for Mourinho to be ruthless. I think Mourinho's ruthless. I think Mourinho can sell Martial just to make his statement, say, I'm the one in charge here. I think that's Mourinho. I don't think he cares about the fans too much. I think Mourinho's a very, very, very ruthless manager and will sell whoever, like you said, he had his favourites. The Matic, McTominay's, Lukaku. If Martial's not his favourite, he will sell him. So, I mean, I hope it's not true, Mark. I mean, I hope it's not true. I hope Martial stays because I think Martial is going to be quality. And if he does leave, he will be a Ballon d'Or winner in the next 5 to 10 years. So, I mean, I hope he does stay and Mourinho can see what the fans see and keep Martial. And the doubters can see how good Martial is, to be honest, Mark.
Fantastic call, Ben. And please do call in again.
Cheers, Mark. Take care. Thank you.
Cheers, pal. You know what, though? I mean, I know, look, the one thing I didn't say at the start of that call is that as passionate as Ben is and I am and other people are about Martial, there will be people who have their own opinion that Martial isn't good enough. And, by all means, that's your opinion. And if you want to call in and have it, you will be given the forum like everybody else because everybody has a different opinion, that's fine. But I would say the vast weight of the opinion is that Martial is exactly what Manchester United's all about. And I think people are losing, I think Martial's a great player as Anthony Martial, but actually I think a lot of people are latching on to this because it's not just Martial. It's the fact that he's developed at United. He was a talent, but he came to United. First 2 minutes of coming on at United, massacred Liverpool's defence and scored an iconic goal that we'll always remember. That's an affection. When you do something like that in your first 2 minutes in a United shirt, you attach yourself to the club and the fans forever. And we'll never forget that. He went on to be our outfield player of the year. Last season he was a bit of a flop. This season he's been a revelation up until January. Then he's been treated badly. Martial symbolises what Manchester United is. Whether it's from the youth or buying young players like we did with Ronaldo and you develop them into world stars. And that's the journey Martial's on. And that's the journey that Manchester United like to do. We've done it for decades. We've bought young players and developed them, or we've developed them from the youth setup. That's what United do. So it's not just Anthony Martial that is annoying Manchester United fans against Mourinho. It's what Martial symbolises. Martial symbolises what Manchester United's all about. Developing youth talent into world stars. Selling a player who's got the potential to be that, who's already done iconic things at the club, would be like ripping up the history of this club to some fans, and that is why people are frustrated. It's bigger than Anthony Martial. And I think that's why people are getting frustrated by it. There's a funny comment here from Frank Bill. He says, apparently Mourinho's getting onto Shaw was a test to see if he was mentally strong, and Mourinho is trying to make him captain next season. Yeah, and in other news, a big pig just flew past my window in a Man City top. The Sanchez transfer hasn't helped Martial, says Joe Shergy. Not at all. Not at all. I think it ruined Pogba as well. And also, just if anybody's old enough, when Pogba left, I and many United fans were gutted, and that was on Sir Alex Ferguson's watch. We were gutted because we'd heard so many great things about Pogba in the youth setup, and we'd had glimpses of him. I think he came on for his debut, or he played a game against Stoke, and he ran the midfield as a teenager, and then he went to Juventus because he wanted to. But we were gutted, and then we saw him at Juventus, what he did, and we were gutted. That's not a drop in the ocean to what it will be if Martial goes off and does it somewhere else, because Martial's actually done things in a United shirt, and we're considering letting him go. And 22 is no age. If he goes at 22 and signs for Juventus, they're going to get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years of him at world class, and that's unforgivable, totally unforgivable. We need to take another call, but also we've had a few super chats, so I just want to read those out, and then we'll take another call. But fantastic show tonight. Please do drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. Really good calls. The quality tonight is A star. It's absolutely amazing, and really enjoyed it. So keep chucking your calls in, and we'll take another one in a minute. Chris Tarr says maybe Martial is out until his contract is sorted. Potentially. Good theory on that. And Matthew Palencia, thank you. He says, could Martial play number 10? I love the show, Mark. I think he could do. He's got better. Look, the reality is Martial's better than Rashford and Lingard. And I love Rashford. And I think Lingard's had a great season. Martial's better. If Martial was English, the English press would be absolutely hard-ons galore. They would love it. He is a talent. Sonny the Dude says, why United fans believing media who wants fans to turn versus Jose? He said no attacker comes in, so no attacker goes out. Some fans are dolls of the media now. Where are United fans who stand by the manager? Look, it's a good point, Sonny, but I've got to respect those people who've had enough of Mourinho at the moment, because he's sort of made his own bed. All I'll say, one word: Sevilla, 2 legs. That's the problem with United fans at the moment. As Webster said, we beat Chelsea and Liverpool, 2 really good results in the last 5 weeks. They've been totally forgotten because Sevilla. It's all about Sevilla. It's nothing to do with anything else. It's what he did against Sevilla that he's now having to work back from. Guarty1231 says, what do you think about Zlatan? We missed him. Not for me. Time for him to move on. Wish him all the best, and hopefully we'll play them in the US tour. Craig McCullough Games HD says, De Gea deserves that deal. Nice to see him stay longer. Oh yeah, Craig, totally agree. Thanks for the contribution. Would be fantastic if he does sign the contract as is rumoured. And my name is Jeff says, no grey kit, first positive for next season. Thanks for the contribution. Yes, it doesn't look like we will be playing in grey next season, which is a positive. I agree. I'm going to take another call because that's what we do, and I'm just pulled in by this name, so let's hope it matches it. Hello, can you hear me?
Mark.
Hello.
Hey, Mark, how's it going? It's Miguel Garcia from North Carolina, United States.
Cool, and I'm glad that your voice matches the name because it pulled me in. So, what do you want to talk about, pal?
To be honest with you, Mark, it's a privilege to be on this show because I've been watching you for almost 1.5 years now, and to be honest with you, this is my first time calling this show, so it's a privilege, man. Thank you.
Good. Well, I mean, over in America, you've got the US tour. You must be happy.
Yes, I'm very excited. I actually watched the U.S. tour last year with me and my brother. We went to go watch the Barcelona versus Manchester United game last year. So it was very exciting.
Do you fancy getting? Will you get to one this year? Do you think?
Yeah, hopefully he comes on, man. But I just wanted to talk about the Martial thing. The problem is what's going on right now is that Martial is a very talented, good player, man. It is very disappointing and heartbreaking for him to witness getting signed a left wing back. Or a left winger, as Alexis Sanchez, and to be on that team and starting before him. Martial has deserved that position since as soon as he came on for that Liverpool game and scored 2 goals, his name was set in stone on that position. as soon as Alexis Sanchez got signed, and the first time he started left wing and got replaced by Martial, it was game over, dude. And that is heartbreaking. As a player, I can only imagine how much that morally hit him, how it hit his form, how it hit everything. And that's why we're seeing a dip in how he plays, how he used to be one of those players that be one-on-one in the left wing and will break people with one touch, two touches, and will break them at that point. And now he's stuttering. I can see why his form has not been great. I promise you. I've been watching every game, Mark, every game in this whole season. And it's disappointing me because I knew what Pep was going to do this season, man. He was going to buy players because I was a huge Barcelona fan before my brother made me switch teams or whatever. But anyways, what I like to say, I love the history of Manchester United, and to see what is going on to this team is embarrassing. We hired a manager with these accolades to win us a trophy in 2 to 3 years. The first year was okay. We won mediocre trophies, and this time we're battling for an FA Cup. I'm hoping if we go to London Stadium that we are going to win against Tottenham, and I'm really hoping, Mark.
What do you think in the summer? I mean, just a very quick question. Transfers in the summer. What would you expect Manchester United to be doing in the summer this year?
Well, one of your commenters also said that that he's not going to sign any attacking players. So what I'm assuming is that these rumors are false against Martial, and it's all just like you said, it's a Man United agenda. They're trying to turn the tables on us. And what I think is that they're just playing these games and trying to stir up the back room. And I'm hoping that we're just going to be signing midfielders and defenders this year. Maybe almost. I'm assuming Luke Shaw is out. He's gone. We're going to be signing a left back. I'm assuming it's going to be from Juventus, Alexandro, and we're going to sign 2 midfielders, Mark.
Cool. Well, thanks for calling, Miguel. Really good to get you on first time, and please do call in again. And I hope you get to a game.
Thanks, Mark. I appreciate that, Mark. Thank you.
Thank you. I tell you what, we've had some cracking calls tonight. We really have. I'll take another one in a minute. I just want to pick up on something because I do read your live comments, and I've got to pick up on this. Obviously, football's all about opinion, and Miguel was saying there that he used to support Barcelona and he switched to Manchester United. And I can see some people are positive about that, some people are negative about it. I really don't like, I've got to be honest, and it's only my opinion, I really don't like the plastic thing or something like that, or you're a fake fan if you switch clubs. Look, we're all geniuses in hindsight, and we all sit on our own iron throne of morality. But I've got one of my best friends was a Liverpool fan growing up, and he now supports Forest because I grew up in Nottingham. Well, Liverpool were winning everything in the 80s, and he supported them. He now supports Forest and has done, and takes his kids to watch them, and they've been in the Championship the whole time he's done that. So that's not really being a fake fan or a glory fan. I think it depends. People do it. People do it. And look, I've supported Manchester United all my life, and I'm sure a lot of you have. But I'm not going to be judgmental about what other people do. And I think it is very judgmental to say, oh, somebody's a fake or plastic fan because they've changed who they supported. You don't know why that is. You don't know why they supported one club in the first place. I just think each their own. Really, I don't really. I tell you where the problem comes from me, because we've rubbed heads with people in the past, top Reds, who I'm from Manchester, I'm better than you, and I suppose that's where it comes from me. I don't like any of that, and I'm certainly not saying it about everybody from Manchester, because I know loads of fans who are from Manchester, and they are brilliant fans, and they love the club, and they love the global support, and come one, come all. But there is a minority who are, I'm from Manchester, you're from Nottingham doing a United show, you've got no right to talk about my club and all that lot. And I feel that that's a little bit the same with, oh, look at them, they've switched who they support, or they're Americans, or they're this, I don't like any of that. That's just my opinion though, but I don't like it. Let's take another call. They're whizzing in again. Let's see. Let's try and see if we can get Jamie on. Jamie, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello, you're live on United Stand, Jamie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. What do you want to talk about?
Right, Martial and all that, right? So, see when they're saying about like Bale and that, it's quite stupid because Bale's like 29, and obviously Bale's injured all the time. So it's like, what's the point in buying Bale? Because he'll probably have a role that Martial's getting, and now while he's on the bench injured, and it's.
I'll tell you what I would say about Bale though, and somebody has, I've read a few comments about it and they're spot on. Gareth Bale does and has for the last few years at Real Madrid played on the right, and Martial plays on the left. So if we did get Bale, he actually would potentially solve a bit of a problem for us on that right hand side. I mean, I'm not totally against getting Bale. I'm just totally against Bale being part of the reason why Martial goes. I mean, would you take Bale if Martial was staying, De Gea was staying, and we were just signing Gareth Bale?
Yeah, I think Bale's like maybe not world class, but like just off. I think Bale's he's really good, but I don't think Bale for Martial. If Matt was to leave for Bale, then yeah, that's fine. Because also what I don't understand is Mourinho's always saying about we've not having enough midfielders to play a 4-3-3. Why doesn't he try playing Mata in the midfield? He doesn't do that.
Yeah. Well, as the last caller said, we certainly need to be signing some midfielders this summer, because if you've not got the strength in midfield, it doesn't matter what you've got in the attack. Just talking about that, Ander Herrera, what's your thoughts on Ander Herrera saying he wants to stay? Do you think we should give him another year? He's not had a great year this year, but player of the year last year. A lot of people like Herrera. Where do you think? What do you think about Herrera?
I think Herrera's one of the he understands United. He's a Man United. He's a United player. Maybe someone like, say, if you wanted I can't really describe it, but he understands the club, if you know what I mean, more than someone like Fellaini would. Fellaini's looks as if he's just been thrown into the team because Mourinho likes him, as if he was just chucked in the team randomly. But maybe Herrera's not in the best of form, but he obviously understands the club, and if he gets back in form, then what's the problem? I'll play in Herrera.
I like Herrera. I think I'm very disappointed that he's not been used a lot this season, and Fellaini has been picked over him a lot. If he's going to stay, I want to see him playing more regularly than he has done this year, because I do really like Herrera. But he's got to be playing a lot more. Finally, predictions for the weekend. What's your thoughts, honestly, about this Man City United game? How can we approach it? What you expect is going to happen?
Well, I know when Liverpool played Man City, it was obviously at Anfield and they had the home advantage, but you seen, especially when I watched that game. I'm a Man United fan. I don't like any of them clubs. I hate them both. But I watched that game because I wanted to see because I was like, Liverpool are doing well.
Oh, I'm sure you'll watch it on Wednesday, won't you, as well? I'll be watching, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so I like to see what happens. And you see when Ederson kicked that ball, and he kicked it to about just the attacking third for Liverpool. And he missed it and gave it to, I think it was Salah, and he just shot for 40 yards, so Ederson was off his line. It just went in, and it was when they attacked them, they never knew what they'd done because no one had attacked them yet all season.
Yeah, Liverpool have definitely, even in the game back at the Etihad where Mane got sent off and they were 1-0 down, but they were all over Man City. I'm looking forward to Wednesday because I think Liverpool have actually, I hate to say it because I don't like Liverpool, have given the blueprint, pardon the pun, as to how to hurt Man City. Everyone else sits back and I think it plays into their hands.
Yeah. Oh, can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
See with Kieran Tierney, right? I'm for Scotland. I'm a Celtic fan, right? Tierney, see if you've seen the games in Europe and that. If they're saying he's not experienced, right? If you watch him in Europe, he does really well. He scored into Man City and he plays brilliant. One of the best things with Tierney is he's got the effort and passion.
Would you like to see him at United?
Well, obviously I'm a Celtic fan, so
No.
well, if he had to leave, then if I seen him in a Liverpool top, that would when I seen Victor Wanyama and Van Dijk and Spurs and Liverpool talks, it's no good. But if Tierney went to United, to be honest with you, he's done brilliant at Celtic. It's only fair if he wants to go to a bigger club. But when you see him, he's really good. He plays with a lot of passion, and he's one of them players that like he could captain United if you look at like in a few seasons. If he goes there in the summer, say Valencia, goes in about a year or two, something like that, then if that's obviously saying if he lives up to like his potential and that, but I think he's one of them players that you shouldn't underestimate. I feel like he's going to be really good.
Well, good call, pal, and please do call in again. And you know, Tony is an interesting one.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Cheers, pal. We've had people from everywhere tonight. We really have. That just reminds me, actually, I've got to do something live on air because Flex did the. Oh, that was probably a bit loud to everyone as I lean over to get my phone and blast into the microphone. We're giving away a Manchester United shirt. We're giving away a Manchester United shirt signed by Juan Mata. Flex did one last night. I've got to do one tonight. The link in the video description is there for our Instagram page. It's down at the bottom. But I have got to pick a winner now while we're live, and also announce another tournament that we've got. Another giveaway that we've got for you. So let me just pick the winner first. Even Nolan 15, you've won the signed Juan Mata shirt. You commented on the post, and well done. We will message you via Instagram, and you've won the second Juan Mata shirt. So well done to you. Our next prize is, and you're not having this one, so don't worry, but we are giving away one of these beauties, class of '92 tracksuit top. We've not ordered it yet because obviously it will be ordered in whatever size you want. That is mine. You're not having it. But we've got I can sign it for you if you want me to sign it for you, but I'm sure you would want a brand new, not signed, in your size, class of '92 tracksuit. Somebody just asked, can you show it again? Yeah. Some people say they don't like it. I think it's bloody lovely. Absolutely lovely. Flex has got one as well. I've got one. So we're giving away one of those. How do you do it? How do you win one of those? Right, okay. Well, first things, you've got to send me 200 quid to PO Box. No, nothing like that. All you got to do is, we're going to give this away on the next live show, which I'm not going to tell you when it is. But I can tell you it won't just be 8 o'clock tomorrow night. It will be some point in the next. I'll be fair because I don't want you to stay up all night. It's not going to be in the next 12 hours. It's going to be some point between 12 hours and 24 hours time. Somewhere between there. We're going to go live. It's not going to be at the normal time. So that's how it's going to work. And we are going to give it away to somebody in the live comments. All you've got to do is be on our next show. And in the first 3 or 4 minutes of that show, we're going to give it away. How do you do that? Well, the most obvious way is click the bell at the bottom of the screen. Click the bell, tick to get all notifications when we go live. And then the next time we go live, you'll get a notification. You come straight in, and within the first 5 minutes, because sometimes it takes 5 minutes for the notification to come through, we will give that away. So I'm going to tell you what time it is. People are saying, oh, I'll get it. I bet it's going to be this time. I bet it's going to be that time. You don't know what time it's going to be because I don't know yet. But we will give it away in the first 5 minutes of the next live stream, which will be some point tomorrow. So make sure you've got your notifications on. You are subscribed. You've got the notifications on, which is click the bell, and make sure you've got that bell, all notifications on for the United Stand, and we will give it away. Everyone's playing with the bell, says Mini Diver. Yes. So there you go. Link in the video. No, there's no link in the video description for that. I must just mention Instagram as well, because I just start doing things and get some consistency going and grow it by word of the mouth. But if you are on Instagram, make sure you do go to the link in the video description for Instagram, because what I'm doing every morning now is just for 20 seconds. I'm doing an Instagram story, which people are saying they really enjoy. Can you do more of them? And they're a little bit tongue-in-cheek. And one was in bed yesterday and nothing like that, but they are a little bit behind the scenes, tongue-in-cheek. So Instagram story every day, link in the video description to follow us on Instagram. But yeah, make sure you click your notification bell at the bottom and make sure you get all notifications for the United Stand, because that prize tomorrow will be given away to somebody in the live comments within the very first few minutes. So you need to be getting on it, and we're not going to tell you what time we're going live. So the only way you're going to know is by getting your notifications. So It's Acid House Top, says Outpass Master. I just want to say to everybody as well, what a show it's been. Really, really enjoyed it. Link in the video description for Instagram as well. But please do drop a like on the video, because the calls tonight have been fantastic. From start to finish, it was fast, it was passionate, and that's what we want from the Skype shows. People are frustrated about the Martial thing, and that took up a lot of the discussion. But yeah, there's lots to be positive about. This De Gea thing is really positive. The Manchester United US tour is positive, and we're building up from the Man City game tomorrow. We've got some really big shows for you to come. Just as a heads up, the live video I'm going to do, which I'm not going to tell you what time it is going to be a combined Manchester United Man City video. That's going up tomorrow. Could be at 10 AM, could be at 1 PM, could be at 12 PM, could be at 2 PM. Click your bell, get your notifications on, and when it goes, get into the video quick, because we'll be giving one of these away. Thanks everyone for watching. Really enjoyed it. I just want to applaud the live comments as well, because obviously we like the videos for the people who call in, and they're the stars of the show in some ways, but the real stars of the show is always the live comments, because you're the ones that we feed off. And you've all been fantastic, as have the moderators, as per usual. Really great community we've got. You know, I say it often, but you are all absolutely fantastic, and I'm really excited. I love the summer. I love it when it starts to get going with the transfer windows. I got really excited about the US tour, because we do the watch-alongs in the early hours and stuff, and the transfer window, the World Cup, these last few weeks of the season. I'm starting to get buzzing, because I really do love all that. But what a show it's been, says Jack Gardner. Really enjoyed it, and I'm going to enjoy this week building towards the City game. You know what? I've got no fear. You know, we're playing Man City and they might win the league. Boo hoo! Let's go for it. Thanks everyone for watching. Speak to you all soon. I'm just. Yeah, a lot of people are asking about this bell thing. So if you're on your mobile phone, if you scan down to the bottom, there should be a bell that you click, and I think sometimes just making it vibrate works. But if you're on your laptop or on some phones, when you click it, you can tick to get all notifications, or some. You want to get all notifications and save it. But you've got to be subscribed to do that. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Back tomorrow. Ooh, at what time? Oh God, what time? You better click your bell and find out. Thanks for watching.